Good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. The People's Democratic Party on Tuesday raised concern over the endorsement of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, by an elder statesman and leader of the Pan-Nigeria Forum, Chief Edwin Clark. Clark announced the endorsement at a press conference in Abuja barely 48 hours after a similar endorsement by Nigeria's former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, stating that it was only fair and just that the South produced the next president after 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari. On Tuesday, PDP's Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Ibrahim Abdullahi, stated that Edwin Clark's endorsement confirms that the party must reconcile with the G5 governors. In the meantime, the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, has backed Obasanjo's endorsement of Peter Obi. In a statement, Ortom noted that the former president was right in his choice of Peter Obi as the right candidate to win the election and provide the leadership that Nigeria desires. Let's take some reactions. Well, this is from Freedom, who wrote, "Wonderful, very much expected. Mr. Clark couldn't have done otherwise because he has been known to stand for equity, justice, and fairness." Waiting to read more endorsement from Ibrahim Babangida, General T.Y. Danjuma, JEJ, celebrities, and other revered Nigerians. Nigerians can't afford to miss this chance. Well, Mavis wrote, "Sir Edwin Clark is an Ijaw man from Delta State. He left their son, Okowa, to endorse Peter Obi. Obasanjo endorsed Peter Obi instead of Tinubu. Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 is beyond tribe. It's solely about credible leadership." In the meantime, the campaign office of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, described the recent outburst by the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, as a man dancing like a village masquerade. The Rivers State governor, in reacting to Nigeria's former president Olusegun Obasanjo's endorsement of Peter Obi, said that there is something fundamentally wrong if Atiku Abubakar cannot get the support of Obasanjo, who was his former boss. In a statement tagged Wike's nonsensical gaffe, the PDP, in an apparent reference to a quote in the Bible, labeled Wike as a governor who was once a shining light in his party that has now thrown caution to the wind to become a laughingstock. But Frank Shaibu, the special assistant, public communication to Atiku Abubakar, said, "Every day, Wike dances like a village masquerade on live television, entertaining Nigerians with the same boring moves. He acts like a failed TikTok comedian, desperately trying to amuse Nigerians with the same platitudes just because he lost the primary and also failed to emerge as vice presidential candidate of the PDP."
As I watching me on television now, it is painted. That is all. And it is sweet. When they see me appear like this, it is painted. And I promise them, I'm here to bury them. As he dey pain them, he dey sweet us. As he dey rent us, he dey pay. Oh yeah, say as he dey pain them, he dey sweet us. As he dey sweet us, he go dey pay. Hey yeah yeah, as he dey pain them, he dey sweet us. As we get there, yeah, he go bury them. Lord, we lift your name higher. 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 Above every other name. Above every other name. Lord, we lift your name higher. Lord, we lift your name. Lord, we lift your name. So we keep pepper down. Pepper down. Which are designers to pepper down. I said, oh, pepper down. Bring your rich, you make pepper down. Oh, yeah, say pepper down. Your designers to pepper down. Oh, yeah, say pepper down. We get you are better than the best.
Just a little entertainment. I'm still waiting for Nyesom Wike to dance buga. Dr. Bati, over to you.
The way we are carrying on in this country, I think one of these days we should organize a dance contest.
Yes.
Between Senator Adeleke, the governor of Osun, and Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. But in any case, I mean, it was Dino Melaye calling him a village masquerade, right? What do masquerades do? They entertain. And the entertain is good for Nigerians. We get entertained. But to talk to the serious issue here, I mean, the matter in the PDP has not been resolved.
There are other spokespersons in the PDP who are saying the party has moved on and that Wike has just been insolent, and they've called him all kinds of names. But he says it's not about abuse. Address the fundamental issues that he and the integrity group have raised, which is about equity, about justice, about fairness. To wit, they do not think that the chairman of the party and the presidential candidate should come from the same area. And we've been on this for months. The concern is, at what point, would this argument stop? Because in any case, the elections will soon be here. The elections will be won and lost. And whatever happens, would that argument still continue even after the election? So it's a matter of internal crisis within the People's Democratic Party. And there are other voices within the party who have been saying that the party could pay a heavy price for that internal dissension. Now, Wike addressed the point about him, mocking the presidential candidate Atiku, and he said no. He was just expressing worry as a member of the party that if President Olusegun Obasanjo worked with the candidate of the PDP for 8 years, did not consider him fit enough for him to endorse him publicly, then he thinks that something is fundamentally wrong within the party, and that's why he's got this barrage of attacks from Frank Shaibu and also from Tino Melaye. But at the end of the day, political parties are organized to win elections. They are not charity units. So how you organize your affairs internally, which was the point that Professor Yakubu Mahmoud made when there was this review, this post-election review in 2019-2020, when he said, look, political parties have to learn lessons about the value of internal democracy, because if you get it wrong internally, then of course it could have consequences for you in the general election. So that's that about that. As for Mr. Peter Obi, yes, he continues to be endorsed. And you can understand where Chief Ike Clark and President Obasanjo and
Samuel Ortom,
Chief Ayo Adebanjo and Governor Samuel Ortom, where they're coming from. These are persons from the south up to the middle belt who are arguing for equity, fairness, and justice. Absolutely. And Chief Ike Clark put his fingers on it to say that, look, his endorsement of Peter Obi is an indication that no group in Nigeria is superior to the other. Whatever your religion, whatever your extraction, ethnically, you are also entitled to the highest office in the land. And that, principled position, you may argue here and there, well, they have made their choice, and they have only one vote. And Chief Ike Clark says on February 25, he will vote Peter Obi. How that, generates momentum for the Peter Obi ticket, well, remains to be seen. But what we know is that these endorsements, speak to, the value, the impact that he has been able to make with his bid and campaign.
Absolutely. Ayo, what do you make of Chief Edwin Clark's endorsement of Peter Obi? Like one of my Twitter user wrote, he said that he left his own Okowa for Peter Obi.
That's why I like what he said, that it's getting more interesting, and we expected that. They'd promised us a January to remember, particularly coming from Governor Nyesom Wike and the G5 governors who said they were going to tell us who they'd be speaking to, and we'd expected a number of that. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo opened up the month with his letter endorsing Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party. It is important that we are where we are as a nation is critical, and we can no longer vote on sentiments or along religious, ethnic lines. It must be about credibility. It must be fair, but very importantly, a credible candidate. Now, a credible candidate to many people might differ. However, let it be that the reason why you're going out on the 25th of February 2023 this year is because the person you're casting your vote for is someone that you believe can take the nation to the next level. Not because we are brothers from the same local government area, without understanding what the person stands for, or if the person is able to deliver on what they said they're going to. We need to move away from politics played in that way. And then just finally to say, as I was just smiling, that I believe that the PDP, one of the things that they consider if you want to participate is your dancing skills. Senator Dino Melaye, Senator Jackson, Ademola Adeleke, Governor Nyesom Wike, all belong to the PDP. So on a lighter note, very interesting that they have great dancers.
That was so intelligent. I love that. Rufai.
So why are they complaining about Wike's dance? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar dances. All politicians dance. It's an appellation of their crowd. But let's not throw the baby with the bathwater. In the conversation with Wike, he's disgruntled. Yes, people have said, is this the best way he can go about it? Because you see, the argument will also be made that what will even end the fight? At least every fight must have a termination date, except if you want to fight till death.